The core question for organizations is, are you going to be essential for your customers and relevant? And we see a lot of examples around us where that is no longer the case. Our mobile provider was essential 10 years ago and relevant. Now it's still essential, but no longer relevant. A set of technologies coming at us in the next 15 years, which is probably going to have more impact in the next 15 than in the last 30. And are we prepared for that? Companies spend an insane amount of time just focusing on today. That eats up all of our time, the emails we get every single day. The problem is not today, but tomorrow. How do companies look at tomorrow? And most companies look at tomorrow by extrapolating today. They hope that it's going to be the same. But in a world that is accelerating, that doesn't work anymore. So companies have to focus on what I call the day after tomorrow. New ideas, new technologies, new business models that could change the rule of the game. And the question is very simple. How much time do companies spend on today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow? How much of your time do you spend on today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow? Many people say 70, 20, 10. And I say this is what you hope. But reality is 93, 7, and 0. And the problem is value. Today, very important. Tomorrow, very important. Day after tomorrow, essential if you want to survive in times that are changing fast. In a sense, we see a lot of hype now around technology. Technology is the wow, everything is going to be exponential, and we see AI and all these things that are radically going to change our lives. But the most fundamental thing is not just technology, it's our ability to change. It's our willingness to change. I think agility is probably going to be the core element that will define whether you're still relevant or not in the day after tomorrow. You know, when I said this is the new normal, that is standard now. But the new normal, this is my set of things that we're going to have to take very seriously in IT. Things that are going to be on our radar screen. Certainly from a service point of view, I think what you see is there's an absolute necessity to transform. You take a look at an organization like an IT department, which for a long time has been basically just a provider. They weren't the ones who were actually capable of helping companies to look at the future, but they were there to service today. And I think that is something which is now changing. I mean, we now see that technology plays such a role that in any normal universe, the IT department should be the rock stars of an organization, but they're not. So I think there's an opportunity to change that. What is essential is three things. You have to understand what's coming, so you have to build a radar, to sense, to understand what is really there. The second is you need an environment where you can try things, where you can experiment, where you can learn from mistakes. And the third is you need to be able to scale it up faster than ever before. So it's about sensing, it's about trying, and it's about learning. And I think if you do that, I think you can prepare an organization for the day after tomorrow. The world is moving faster than ever before. I'm going to leave you with this final thought. How much time do you spend on controlling your comfort zone? And how much on rethinking how to be relevant, both for the customer and the employee in the day after tomorrow? From an organization, we have to ask ourselves, are we essential and relevant? But I think you also have to do that as an individual. You have to figure out, what I do, is that essential for my organization? Fine. But is it also adding relevance? And that, I think, tension between essential and relevance is something that, from a personal point of view, can be very motivational to think about your own day after tomorrow. What is interesting from a perspective of a company like Topdesk, it's about figuring out what your service, creativity is, what your service capability is going forward. And I believe that service innovation is going to be one of the most important factors going forward. There's product innovation, market innovation, but service innovation is going to be essential. And it's very simple. What we have in our normal world at home, we're used to having absolute top-class, digitally enabled service. And we hate it if it's not there. That same mentality we're bringing to our workforce and our work environment, and that same level of service innovation is what we're going to need inside organization. I think a company like Topdesk is ideally suited to be able to play a role there.